ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಶಿವಣ್ಣ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಬ್ಬನ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಒಂದ್ ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ ಇದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಂದೆ.
ಹೌದಾ? ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ.
ಸಪ್ನಾ
ಸುಮ್ತಿರಾವ್ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಹಾಯ್ ರಾಮ್. Salaiva.
Hey Raj, how are you?
Fine, fine, fine. How are you, sir?
Very good, sir. Very good.
Hi, uncle.
Namaskara, namaskara.
Bilgeri Shivkumar.
Anna avrige, namaskara.
They're all members, Rotary members.
Welcome, Ram Das. Welcome.
Hi, Rashmi.
It's wonderful seeing
Rashmi,
you.
मैंने attendance डाल दिया है, ठीक है?
Yes.
End तक रहना है तो चॉकलेट मिलेगा.
Chocolate में. Is our speaker here yet?
Yes, she has joined in. Sapna?
Yes, Ram. Good evening. I'm here.
Hi, Sapna.
Yes.
How are you?
He is very.
I'm good.
Sapna, मुंह दिखाई हो जाए यार.
Sapna, this
Yes.
is Sumati Rao.
They're long.
They're all members. They're all Rotarians.
Hello, Sumati ma'am.
Everybody.
How are you? Long time.
Sapna people have been
Last
waiting
year's
to hear from
program
you.
I did.
Because she has given me. She has invited me. I am there only because Sumati has.
I have to say that I have no power at home, so you're going to, hopefully, my battery is going to last.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Hi,
Okay.
Sapna. This is Raj Shekhar from Citizens Action Forum.
There are people around there, no?
They're all various fora.
Sapna, you,
Okay.
can we do a bit of. Then you save your power. I will call on you and then you start.
Branches ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮಾರತಹಳ್ಳಿ ಕ್ಲಬ್ ಬೇರೆ, ಮೈಸೂರು ಮೆಟ್ರೋ ಕ್ಲಬ್ ಬೇರೆ.
Hello, Sapna.
Hello. Wow, that is a buland awaz, Rajshekhar.
ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ ಹಳೆ ಪರಿಚಯ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ.
ಹೌದು.
We were all activists together. That's the reason.
Yeah, that's
Rajshekhar,
true.
how long have you known Sapna?
That's
At
true.
least nothing less than 8 years.
Okay, I beat you.
No, the day it started, we have been in connection with
I have known her more than
Janagraha
10 more
and
than
Yeah,
10 years.
yes, Janagraha, yes, of course.
Yes.
and Sapna.
Yeah.
Sapna was a very feared HR professional. You all
Okay.
used
So
to
I
be
was really happy.
very afraid of her. Yeah.
No, making that.
Is General Prasad still involved in community policing, Sapna?
Yes, Ram, he is. He is still the chief mentor and he's part of the community policing advisory group. So he continues to anchor, at the strategic level.
Wonderful, wonderful. Once
We used to be, Ram, we used to be in the first batch of this community policing
Uh-huh.
when Janagraha launched this, when KJ George was the Home Minister and Raghavendra Auratkar was the Commissioner.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Krishnan was
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I think we can start the program. We are already 53 and we are 6:32, so we'll start the program. First of all, my greetings to everybody on behalf of DG Nagendra Prasad. DG will be joining us shortly, and today happens to be a very joyous occasion. We are celebrating Eid, so festivity greetings to everybody over here. Hope everybody has had a good day, and we'll make it much more nice this evening. So this is the second of the series that we are bringing out from Women in Rotary Membership Development Team. So I request everyone to mute
Somebody will
yourself.
hear loud, somebody will hear weak. They don't know how to keep the mic.
Hello, can I request everyone to mute yourself, please? Yes. As I continue, I bring greetings to you from our DG Nagendra Prasad and also our membership team here. We have our membership director Bilgeri Shivkumar here. My warm welcome to everyone, Rotarians, non-Rotarians, families, friends, Rotractors, friends from all over who have logged in. I have to find out from which part people have logged in. We have people from Agra, Chennai, also over here, and I think my mother-in-law is seeing me from US. She is there, so I have a lot of followers here. I have to be very careful today. So we have a very interesting sessions every month. So we thought that we will conduct this from Women in Rotary, so that I mean everybody knows what exactly we can do in the community and what best we can also serve from Rotary, and also we can build a volunteer base either ways. So now today we have called upon Sapna Karim from Janagraha. A little about Janagraha. Janagraha Center for Citizenships and Democracy, Janagraha, is a Bangalore-based not-for-profit working towards the mission on quality of life in India's cities and towns. It works with citizens to catalyze active citizenship in city neighborhoods and with governments to institute reforms to city systems. And also a little about I Change My City. So this I Change My City, ICMYC, is a hyper local social change network where citizens can come together to change their city by taking action. Citizens can post civic grievances on I Change My City, which will be forwarded to concerned civic departments. They also can create citizen volunteering events on I Change My City app to proactively fix issues. So I think many of our Rotarians, Ramdas, Sumati Rao, our Rajshekhar, they're all associated with Janagraha. I myself am associated. And also a big thank you to the organizer today. She's Mahalakshmi Subramaniam Zundar. She's not, I think she may log in a little later, or she's here. He has organized the entire event, and I'm very thankful to her for giving us this opportunity so that we also can do something for our community. So I request my team member, Rotarian Jyoti Huli, to introduce our speaker for the day, Sapna Karim.
Thank you, Rashmi Madam. Can I
Please
start?
go ahead.
Okay.
Yes,
It's
please.
my pleasure to introduce today's guest speaker, Miss Sapna Karim, Head of Civic Participation Program at Janagraha. Sapna Karim joined Janagraha at its inception 18 years ago. In her time at Janagraha, she was worked with citizens, civil society groups, and governments on a citizen participation campaigns. She has also led HR and volunteer management in Janagraha for 10 years. Prior to joining Janagraha, she spent 5 years in IT sector. She currently heads the Civic Participation Program in Janagraha, where she works with city governments and community groups across the country in executing campaigns and projects that promote the active citizenship. Welcome, Sapna Karim. And is about women in community policy.
Yeah.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Jyoti. Welcome, Sapna. The floor is yours. Rocket. Yeah, Sapna.
Good evening. Hi.
Hi.
Sorry. Hi. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity to spend my Saturday evening with you. I must say that we have had no power the whole day, and the inverter has also just run out. So I'm here in candlelight, and which is why the picture looks a little strange right now.
Yeah, you
So-
look apt for I Change My City.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
anyway, so let me go ahead without any further delay. The way I'm going, I thought it's best that if I give everyone a brief overview of our work. Many of you have been associated with Janagraha. Many of you are still associated with Janagraha and contribute to the city and its development in your own unique and inspiring ways. But I thought for everyone's benefit, it might be good to just give you an overview and focus on a particular program that we run called Community Policing and how women play a role in that and how we see that, progressing our own thinking and our work in the future. So Janagraha, as Rashmi already mentioned, is working on improving the quality of life in our cities, for citizenship, on the quality of infrastructure. The work that we do is divided broadly, I would say, into 3 streams, where there is one which focuses on civic participation, where people like you and me have a role to play and can find platforms, can use data, and where we run campaigns to bring you together to engage with government. There is another called civic learning, in which we actually work with school children on citizenship education in a very experiential way, in a very role-based way, where they have interesting ways of competing in projects which are all to do about improving the quality of life in their neighborhoods. The other strand that we work on is the advocacy and reform strand, which is to do with even as we work on the citizenship end of it, we all are very well aware, and we see it play out every day in the city, that there are multiple aspects of cities that need to be fixed, whether it's municipal finance, budgets, where does the money come from, how does it get spent, how are they accountable for that money, right? Do they have the right people and the right competencies in cities to really make that money work for them? How do they report to the citizens on how they are doing, how to play, and how money is being decided to be spent? So all of these parameters, including how we plan for cities, how do we look at mobility and transport and environment and climate change and all infrastructure that we as citizens aspire to have in our cities, what are the systems that actually will help fix that in today's cities? So the advocacy program works on policy, works on helping government implement some of these aspects as projects over many years. And so there is a team that works on that. So without getting into too much of detail on each, I'm just saying that fundamentally we work with citizens and we work with government. And that's the work, the Janagraha's ambitions are being fueled by. Today, I will restrict my focus to talk on the civic participation strand of our work. My understanding is that I will speak and we have a Q&A, I think, later on in the session. So please do keep your questions and we can pick them up towards the end of today's program. The participation of Janagraha's work. If everybody can mute, it just might be easier for the others too.
Sapna, maybe you can switch off your video. I mean, give a better bandwidth. Yeah, because it's breaking. If everybody is okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah, please. Yes, you can go ahead.
Sure. Thanks. So the civic participation program of Janagraha basically is focused on providing data, tools, and platforms. And what does that really mean? It's giving you information on how you can engage in your local neighborhood, in your ward, and sometimes even at the city level, with information on who is your elected representative, who is your councillor, how can you actually post a complaint on issues that you see happening in your neighborhood or even anywhere in the city. What kind of information on budgets and let's say projects in the city would be useful for you? What are campaigns that we can run that help you get engaged with government? More meaningful and systematic way. And the idea of the civic participation aspect of Janagraha's work is to ensure that each one of us as citizens, we all are passionate about making a difference, about making a change. But many times we have no idea as to where to go, where does this information reside, who do I really need to call? And if I pick up the phone, sometimes I have no idea as to what to do next. So the platform and the tools that we provide are to help citizens along that journey. Wherein you start small, you come together in campaigns to do larger things, and then you proceed to put on bigger aspects of engagement at the local neighborhood level. As we have worked on many campaigns in the past, which have, and many of you have participated in these campaigns over the last 2 decades of Janagraha's journey, wherein we have worked with government on city budgets and citizen participation. We have worked on campaigns that have looked at, including the urban poor and citizen in civic engagement. We have looked at projects that have impacted, water in the city and so on, right? But as a part of all of these projects, the other important aspect that we have also picked up along this is on neighborhood safety and security, right? And the community policing project is one in which we are working with the police, the Bangalore City Police, in implementing a city-wide program at this moment. So to give you a little bit of history, we actually started conversing with the city police nearly 7 years, over 7 years ago, on saying how can we engage citizens on improving the safety and security in neighborhoods by working alongside the police. Right? And that was the genesis of the community policing program. We started really small. We started with just about a few police stations, a handful, about 7. And the whole idea was to enlist or recruit citizen volunteers from their local police station jurisdictions who would have a role to play as an area Suraksha Mitra in working with the beat police in improving neighborhood safety and security. So what is it that they will actually do? They will come together, they will go on beats with the police, they will undertake awareness drives in their neighborhoods, and it could be on multiple issues. It could be on drug abuse, it could be on domestic violence, it could be on traffic rules, on road safety, multiple types of safety information and awareness that they would undertake in schools, in colleges, in corporate spaces, sometimes even in bus stops, in parks, where they would go on a walk and actually speak to groups of people on these matters. Many of our area Suraksha Mitras over the years have also worked with the police in battling, I would say, a little slightly more serious, law and order issues. But I also want to call out that the area Suraksha Mitra is not a policeman or a woman. The area Suraksha Mitra is only a citizen. The role is to assist the police in understanding how neighborhood safety and security can be improved all the time, right? And interestingly, I must say that we have in all our ASMs close to about 27% of them are all people, right? And they have been a very strong force in the area Suraksha Mitra program under the community policing partnership with the city police, right? And we possibly are also the only city that has, 8 DCPs and 2 ACPs for all women. 2 of them work very closely with us. That is, Rohini Sapata and Papan, community policing program forward. Women across the board, who work on these initiatives, right? And I must say that they're all occupied in many ways, right? They're working professionals, they could be teaching, they are women who run homes, but they still find the time to come and support the policing program. And in many ways, do it consistently in a very organized fashion by working. And I'm sure that if any of you know, and you would have experienced, how many of us can put up our hands and say that those that we know or are close to, our family friends, are comfortable walking into a police station, are actually looking forward to report crimes that are happening in their neighborhood. I'm not even saying serious crimes, even if they are lighter crimes, right? Let's say kids doing wheelies on the street, anything like that. We find it very difficult most of the time to approach the police. Right? So this, the program in itself is, the whole objective is to say, how do you build trust of the police within the community? How do you create spaces where the citizens and the police really understand each other intrinsically? And while we also know that the police are, they are overworked, they are understaffed, they have long days. And as all of us have seen in the last few months in the pandemic, they have gone over and beyond their remit to really step out and assist citizens in managing multiple aspects of the pandemic, whether it's patient transport, whether it is, last rites, whether it is migrant travel, food relief, multiple things. I'm not saying there will always be anecdotes wherein we are unhappy with police behavior, but by and large, as citizens, we are seeing police in a very different light. right, these days. And I must say that the Area Suraksha Mitras that are part of the community policing program in Janagraha today have played a very significant role in elevating themselves from just their role as Area Suraksha Mitras into COVID responders. So over the last 4 months, actually, we started the campaign on March 29th. We have enlisted a large part of the Area Suraksha Mitra workforce into becoming COVID responders. So while they started by undertaking contactless support, from their homes, wherein they would, speak with citizens who require support, help, need in terms of medicines or food relief or information as to where to go if they're feeling ill and so on. Moving into actual delivery of food and essentials for citizens who require them, moving into supporting them on migrant travel. And in the last few weeks, close to a month, also running a very large campaign in the city on crowdsourcing masks, cloth masks from citizens and distributing them to those who are in need. So they continue to stay connected very closely with the police, and they continue to work on supporting citizens on how they can actually understand the police better, be a liaison, between the police and the neighborhood. And this force consists of a fair number of women Area Suraksha Mitras who are also playing the same role that many of the other counterparts are doing. There are a couple of stories which I thought were very inspiring over the last few years of having run this program. And without going into too much of details on who and where and so on, but I must say that so there was this instance, when we had one of our Area Suraksha Mitras who boarded a bus and witnessed a lady sitting cowed down on the seat of the bus, with a shawl over her head and her neck, but which appeared to have some blood on it. And normally, in the course of our lives, when we see this, many of us, we turn a blind eye, but we most probably don't know what to do, and so we may not reach out and really do anything about it. But she knew this, and she went and sat next to her, had a conversation with her, and realized that she had been attacked by her husband, who was drunken, and he got into a brawl with her. And she was actually right now seeing whether she can go to the hospital and get, some emergency help, because she actually had been stabbed in the neck, right? And so what our Area Suraksha Mitra did was actually to take her to the police station, telling her that it's all right and that we can go and we should file a complaint. Then he took her immediately also to the hospital and got her treated. And they actually then addressed the issue at her home, right? Now, I'm saying that the reason, many of us would think that, these are not issues that we want to get involved in. These are not, we don't know many of the time what to do when something like this happens, or what extent of help that is really required, and what should one actually embark upon if one has to start even assisting, right? But there are stories like this. There are many stories like this, right? Of how lost people have been found, how our Area Suraksha Mitras go out of their way to assist the police in implementing their role at the neighborhood level, go on night beats, and multiple other opportunities that they pick up. I think it's important, to keep something like this going with citizen support. And we do know right now the police is looking to enlist volunteers, to build a very strong base of citizen volunteers who can become Area Suraksha Mitras. They have mobilized about 1,500 people for this particular role, and they still need another 2,000 people to come into the force. And this is a critical role, it's an important role, but it is a role that will require commitment for a significant period of time for all of us who sign up to pick this up. And I must say in this that even in Janagraha, I think we're increasingly seeing how it's important to understand this from the perspective of women, right? What does safety and security in public spaces and civic environments actually mean for women? Right? We recently did a couple of studies in Hubli, Dharwad, in Mysore, and there are some very critical insights that have come through that study. Right? There is a feeling of being unsafe. There's a perception of lack of safety that women have faced when they're visiting public spaces like parks, playgrounds, transport hubs, and even, of course, the police station. Right? They feel less safe traveling past 8 p.m. Many of them in these cities are not even aware of what are the safety precautions that one could take and one should take, when they are stepping out, right? And even as I say all this, I'm acutely aware that there are deeply engendered, practices and thinking in society over generations, some even maybe institutionalized, that need to be overcome, thinking about how do we create safe spaces for women, children, and elders in the city. But at the same time, we see that there is no other way than ensuring that more women are part of conversations where decisions on creating safe infrastructure, public infrastructure in cities are being made, or even engineering how parks, playgrounds, and other public spaces should be. The fact that we have a representation and a percentage of women representation in our city governments today. I don't know, I'm sure many of you already know this, that out of the 198 councillors, we have close to 101 that are women councillors, right? And how can we really empower them to play their role effectively in creating safe cities, in creating safe environments for children, women, and everybody else to function in society, right? And the fact that we also need more women in the police force, right? The fact that if you see more women around you who are women in uniform, that you are likely to feel more safe on the streets, right? And where women police officers are not, restricted to desk jobs, but they're actually empowered and out on the field and just functioning like any of their other, male colleagues in the entire department, right? We need more women in boards and in committees of companies, right?
Yes,
So
Sapna,
there's
sorry to stop, interrupt. Can you please put on the video? Most people want to see you. So
Sure. Okay. Yeah, happy to do that. Okay. Hi, people. Yeah. So as I was saying, I think we are increasingly seeing that it's important to have women into, and the most central thing to have women actually participate very deeply in governance thinking, in platforms that bring people together, and wherein women play a key role in deciding how neighborhood safety, security, how civic spaces, how collaborations between different arms of government and society can actually happen. And many of us who are at least in the city, we are witness to many civic movements over the last few years, whether it is, the Citizens for Bengaluru coming up to push the steel flyover back, whether it's on commuter rail, it's on environment, it's on stray dogs, it's on water, it's on infrastructure across the city. I mean, if you just went across these initiatives, each one of them, you will actually see that many of them are helmed by women, right? And they are led by groups of people, of which women form a very significant percentage of the core teams that are making these initiatives actually happen in the city. I think it's a splendid sign of how women are coming and are being active in community in more ways, than one. And even as we speak, there's a group that has come together to work with government to see how booth level engagement for and become a success in the city. And I must say that group has close to maybe 45 to 47 or 48 people, and a significant portion of that team are also women. And it's inspiring to hear from them, to see their their passion and intent to do this. And I do believe that they bring a lot of nuanced understanding of how problems can be solved. There is a higher degree of empathy that actually comes. And this is not to say that I'm saying all the men who are listening to me today are not empathetic or or anything of the sort. But I think there is a general streak of being the caretaker, of being the nurturer that is there in women, that helps them to see these things with a little more sensitivity than possibly otherwise people could. And therefore, I think the way we see our work going forward, even in Janagraha, I must call that out, though many of you know that the organization was founded by Ramesh and Swati Ramanathan. But over the years, we have extremely delightful set of individuals, women who have joined and who are playing very key roles in managing the work of the organization and taking it to greater heights. And right from somebody who's 24 years old to someone who's had 15 years in the industry. Many of them are women and many of them are leading national level initiatives. So I do think that we should create more spaces for women, not just in community oriented policing, but in all other spheres and aspects of life. I think I'll stop here. There's a lot more that we could talk about engaging women in social and civic spaces. But maybe the Q&A round will give us some more specific aspects that we can discuss and speak about.
Yes, definitely. That was very enriching and they are very motivating to know that women can participate in community policing. We also are looking for a lot of volunteer base over here so that we can also involve in community services. So, I mean, we are also having a base of 850 women Rotarians, and we are looking to make it to 1500 this year. So I would invite all the people and the women here to join Rotary. Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. Anyway, if anybody has questions, they will please put it on the chat and we'll have it. And looks nice to see you with the power now, Sapna. Yeah. So please be there. I will just have the artists performing. Yes. Thank you so much again. Thank you. Thank you. Has DC joined it? So now I would request my team member. I think my team member Bhavya Shetty to introduce the artists, the Veena performers who have agreed to perform for us.
Sure. Thank you, Rashmi. Good evening, everyone. A hollow body and two large resonating gods under each end has four main strings which are melodic and three auxiliary drone strings. To play, the musician plucks the melody strings downward with the plectrum worn on the first and second fingers, while the drone strings are strummed with the little finger of the playing hand. The musician stops the resonating strings when so desired, fingers of the free hand. Please don't get confused by what I'm talking. This was a brief intro about the musical instrument we will be hearing to this evening, played by the expert artists. Both belong to a rich heritage of Mysore School of Veena playing, patronized by the Odayars almost a century ago. Tutored initially by Vidwan Mysore C. Krishnamurthy and then under Vidwan D. Balakrishna, they obtained their gradation in All India Radio. Apart from holding a degree in academics, they both hold a master's degree in music. They are still under the guidance of Guru D. Balakrishna, son and disciple of the late Veena maestro, Dr. S.M. Iyengar. For the past 2 decades, they have been performing various platforms, giving solo, duo, trio, and Panchaveena concerts with their Guru. This year being the centenary year of Padma Bhushan Sangeeta Kalanidhi, Dr. V. Doreswamy Iyengar, we dedicate this program to this great maestro. Here I welcome the duo who is going to take us all on an authentic musical journey. Vani Yadunandan, a great artist, All India Radio, and M. Lakshmi, B. High Grade Artist, All India Radio. Thank you. We welcome you. Over to Rashmi.
Ma'am, namaste. Welcome, Vani ma'am. Welcome, Lakshmi ma'am. You are looking all ready. So we start off with Ganesha and Nama. So you will be doing the introduction of the Kritis. Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Today we will start our concert with the most popular Kriti of Patnam Subramania Iyer, Raghuvamsha Sudha, in the Raga Katana Kutuhala, set to Aditala. The next item will be a Kriti on Chamundeshwari, which is a request from the Rotarian DG Nagendra Prasad and family. The song begins like this: Sarasa Mukhi Sakala Bhagyade Shri Chamundeshwari in the Raga Gauda Malhar, set to Rupakatala. The composer is Harikesh Nallur Muttaya Bhagavath.
Yeah, that was very nice. Mani ma'am and Lakshmi ma'am, very nice. It's going on very nice. I would like to tell you that you have listeners even from E-Club of Melbourne. We have Madhusmita here, Bishnu here. She is my friend. And my mother-in-law is watching you from US. Friends from Agra, Chennai, Jaipur, lot many places. They have not told me. But even our lot many Rotarians and friends are there. So nice, ma'am. Continue.
Okay, the next item will be presenting an improvisational aspect of Carnatic music called Tana, which is a specialty item in Mysore style of Veena playing. This will be followed by a Kriti Bho Shambho, composed by Sri Dayanand Saraswati in Aditala.
Very melodious performance. Wonderful.
Thank you very much. Now comes the most popular Kriti of Purandaradasa in the Raga Kapi set to Aditala, Jagadodharana. By the way, the previous song was in the Raga Revati. Okay, we'll then end our concert with Maitrim Bhajata in Ragamalika set to Aditala. Thank you very much for having given us this
Yeah, a
opportunity.
huge round of applause if possible. It was wonderful. There's so much chaos outside. It was so pleasant to hear to you. And I've
Thank
been
you.
getting so many reviews over here. Thank you, ma'am, both of you,
Thank
so
you so
much
much. Thank
for
you very
actually
much.
coming and
Appreciate it.
soothing our minds and ears. Thank you. Please stay on. We have another 10 minutes of program. Oh, in fact, we would like to arrange a program for you and we can hear you live. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah. Now we'll move on. We have a small a video clip which we want to show. So please. Yeah. Hello, welcome back everyone. I would like to call back our speaker Sapna. Sapna, there have been many questions even though they have not put it on the chat. Most people want to know how to volunteer and where they should go. And also, since this is COVID situation, many women are not confident of coming out. So they want to know if they can do something from their houses or in their communities very safely. Please, if you could highlight on that. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. I'm extremely delighted to hear that many of you all do want to volunteer. So there are a few ways by which you could do that. Given that we are in the space that we are and we are in the middle of the pandemic, there are multiple efforts on to arrest, I wouldn't say the spread, but at least bring down fatalities in the pandemic. And this requires multiple types of activities. So there are groups that are doing telecalling for mental health well-being. There are groups that are taking care of home patients in home isolation, patients in home quarantine. So there is a requirement for volunteers to also sign up to do activities which may not really necessitate that they go out on the field, that they can do it from home. They can do it on WhatsApp and through calls and so on. Right now, we have a portal that we're working on with the government, which hopefully once they sign off on all of the aspects that are required, will be released very soon. But in the interim, you could submit your names, to Rashmi, and she could share the email ID, name, and phone number with me. I'd be happy to pull you in and transfer you on to people who are seeking support, which does not necessarily mean you have to go out on the street and actually volunteer. So for the moment, we could do that. The second part to my answer is that please do download the iChange Mentally app. It will help you connect with government. It will help you get information on many that's crucial in your own neighborhood. So you could do that. I will have a link with Rashmi too, and she can circulate it amongst all of you. So please do that. You will get notifications and information on the app also. But specifically on COVID, because we do need hands right now to help many departments and many initiatives underway. If you can sign up with Rashmi, I'd be happy to take that and pass it on. Let people know that you are coming from the Rotary, and so that they can tag you and appropriately give you assignments to work on.
Yeah, that's very nice. I would also appreciate if you would sign up to join Rotary and inspire many more people. So yes, there's a question here from Nitya. She is the IPP from Sneha. With the increasing crime rate against women and children, what do you think is the safe boundary line for us, not in uniform, to venture out and participate? Example, community policing, considering the fact that all of us are not super or Wonder Woman. That's a nice one.
See, I mean, I really want to give you a long answer, but I'm conscious of the time. So I'm going to give you the short answer. There are two ways to look at it, right? One is, can we have increasing, fearless interactions with our civic environment and not worry what will happen when we step out of the house? Yes, we should get to a point where we're able to do that. Right? But even as that may be, the current case is not so clear right now. And therefore, even when you venture out, and I think even when you want to volunteer, it's not that this is really and totally unsafe, right? Yes, we should take precautions. Yes, we should go together. And ideally, what I recommend to all our volunteers is that you please always go in teams of 2 and not go alone to volunteer at any given point in time. And we don't unnecessarily take risks, especially in a time like this, which is an emergency situation, right? Things are not normal. And while some of us are able to manage it better than the others, there are many who are finding it really difficult and really tough. So there are many things that play right now. And this is definitely not to be judgmental on anyone or any single person. But I think we just need to be cautious right now till we emerge into a society that can be careful when we step out of our homes. For the community policing program, there are very specific rules and guidelines. When you join in as a volunteer, you are put through a training and an orientation program. You are very clearly told that you are not to police. You are only to help and provide awareness and art that is requiring you to do. So there is nothing in your role that actually gives you any aspect of policing, that will come in, which actually could put you into trouble. And when people get very enterprising and our volunteers get very, adventurous, they are definitely very quickly pulled off and reprimanded and taken off. So that too happens. We are a bit regimental in that sense, but we have no choice, but we need to do that.
Thank you so much. I mean, that should be quite a good information. And if anybody wants, please note my number and my email ID. I will pass it on to Sapna Karim. And they have a wonderful team. I have initiated with them, even with Valli also, 3 years back. So she also was very motivational, and few of us could do it in Yelahanka. So I hope now we can do it all over Bangalore with your support and motivation, Sapna. Thank you again. Yeah. Can I request Biligere sir? Are you there, sir? Is Biligere sir, can I request you to unmute yourself?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ರಶ್ಮಿ ಅವರು.
Okay.
No, he's attending another Zoom meeting.
Yeah, Cubbon Park, I think is that.
Okay, is Frank sir there? Frank also is there? Frank?
No, I think he is also not there.
Okay, anyway, all of them are busy in multiple platforms today, but I'm so happy we had a very good audience. Now I request my team member, Rotarian Pallavi Shekhar, to give the formal vote of thanks. Pallavi, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Rashmi. This is really a wonderful session, actually. To to have all the wonderful women out there already. As I always say that women is already empowered. I don't think any more what to say motivation and then empowerment is required. I can see lot of glow on Sapna Karim's the face when she was explaining about community services. Okay, so when it comes to vote of thanks, DG First Lady Mrs. Meera Prasad and DG's mother Sharadam Shastri, and then brother and family, I thank all of them today. They have joined for this session. And then secondly, I would I'm really nice to know about this Janagraha, the voluntary towards the community services. I thank Sapna Karim to encouraging women out there to participating in community services. And I thank Rotarian Vachan from Tech White team for Zoom link. Okay, of course, nowadays Zoom link is really mandatory, and then to regenerate ourselves by connecting each other. Okay, so I thank Vachan. So then Mrs. Mahalakshmi for organizing this event. It was really wonderful. Okay, and connecting so many women and other Rotarians, and encouraging them, and then seeing a lot of things are happening even in this COVID period. And then I thank same, of course, Janagraha team. And then I thank Mrs. Lakshmi and Mrs. Vani for Veena performance. I can say that this is one of my favorite instrument which I would love to learn. I mean, there is no age for learning, they say. Of course, I would in fact soon I'm going to contact them, and then I myself want to learn. Okay, so then I thank Rotarian Rashmi Tangsali. So in fact, energetic lady. What to say about this lady? Always energetic and enthusiastic, and then always positive and passionate towards encouraging women out there in Rotary. So really, wonderful to know her, actually. Okay, so I thank her. And then I thank all the Rotarians and friends, and then aunts and annettes, and then district officers, Rotarians from other districts, and Rotarians from across the world. I saw one woman, she was saying while playing the Veena thing, and then she was saying we are watching from USA. Wonderful to know about the Rotary spreaded across entire world. The way they look at things are really motivating to one another. And I thank Rotaractors nowadays. In fact, a young blood in the Rotary community. It is really, really, really nice to have them. Srinidhi Iyengar, and then Rotaractors Sopan for the posters and videos. Every time, whenever they call me or call other people, they diligently follow with us and then get the things done. Really, wonderful to have you guys. And then thanks everyone, for attending this session and encouraging us in Women Rotary. Thank you so much. Nice it was. Thank you so much.
My special thanks to Soni and Sandhya also, and Mahalakshmi Subramaniam, she is there. My heartfelt thanks to Sapna and my entire team. You see my team is here. They are my power. So the entire Women in Rotary team is here. They are the power behind me. So we will definitely get in touch with you, and we hope to do more wonders in Rotary. So I thank everyone for being here on this platform and getting more information and also making us enriched, because there's a lot of things we can learn from every session. So please keep attending this series. We will hope to see more of you in the series. And yes, Sapna, I think we'll have more volunteer base for you and us also. Same here. And thank you so much for attending. Yeah, thank you. I sign off for this program until we have the third series coming up. So please do participate. Thank you. A huge round of applause for Sapna. Thank you. Bye. Bye.